Microsoft revealing the specs for Project Scorpio, we thought it would be fun to build a PC inspired by the upcoming console. When we're done building it, we're going to benchmark it to put it through its paces. We're not going to be able to recreate Project Scorpio exactly, since Microsoft uses heavily custom components and software, but the experiment is to replicate the build as closely as possible using off-the-shelf PC parts. Project Scorpio uses a 6 teraflop GPU based on AMD's Polaris architecture. Considering AMD's recently released RX 580 is a 6.1 teraflop graphics card that's also based on Polaris, we think it's a great fit for our build here, especially since both GPUs are equipped with 8GB of GDDR5 memory. CPU side, Project Scorpio uses a heavily custom 8-core AMD SoC that is based on the company's Jaguar APUs. Unfortunately, they don't sell 8-core Jaguar APUs in stores, but we think the FX8350 is a compelling option given it's an 8-core CPU that launched around AMD's Jaguar APUs. Microsoft is equipping Scorpio with a high-end vapor chamber cooler. The FX8350 stock cooler is anything but premium, so we went with AMD's higher-end Wraith cooler. For our motherboard, we went with Gigabyte's 970A-UD3P, which offers the AM3 Plus socket support we need. It also offers high-quality audio capacitors, which should hopefully get us close to the high-quality audio Scorpio is claiming to offer. Project Scorpio will use 12GB of GDDR5 memory, which is a speedy RAM that's normally relegated to graphics cards. Microsoft says 8GB of it will be for the GPU. Because PCs can't use GDDR5 as system RAM, we opted to use 8GB of the slower 1600MHz DDR3 memory, which we think is a reasonable compromise given our rig has to carry a full-on desktop operating system. For storage, Project Scorpio offers a 1TB hard drive, so we're outfitting our rig with one as well. Project Scorpio will use a 245-watt integrated power supply that Microsoft asserts is very power efficient. Our EVGA Supernova PSU carries a higher 550-watt output, but it's also very power efficient with its 80+ gold rating. Our mid-tower deep-cool Tesseract case will probably be bigger than the Scorpio, but hey, at least it shares the same color palette as the dev kits. Considering Microsoft is heavily touting Project Scorpio as a true 4K capable console, we wanted to test that claim with a half dozen games that are available on both the PC and Xbox. Microsoft worked with developer Turn 10 Studios to show off Project Scorpio running an unreleased build of Forza at 4K with a 60 FPS frame rate. While we don't have access to that build, 2016's Forza Horizon 3 is on the PC. When we ran the racing game at its Ultra preset, it achieved a 35 average FPS. While it was playable, it wasn't until we cranked the settings down to the low preset did we start to hit 60. And for whatever reason, we started to see a lot of in-game artifacting here. It is important to note that Forza Horizon 3, with its open world setting, may not be truly indicative of the build that Turn 10 Studios recently produced. Considering Gears of War is one of Microsoft's leading exclusive franchises, it was a no-brainer for us to test Gears of War 4. When we ran the game's built-in benchmark at its Ultra preset at 4K, it achieved a choppy 27 average FPS. When we cranked the preset down to high, it achieved a 37.5 average FPS, making it much more playable. Considering the frame rate was pretty consistent, we can definitely see Project Scorpio running the game at 4K with these approximate settings. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the game running consistently above 60. Even on its lowest preset, it averaged just 53.8. Overwatch is not very graphically demanding. When we ran Blizzard's first-person shooter at its Ultra preset, our rig averaged 64 FPS, though it did hit a low of 44. We can see Overwatch running in 4K at max settings, or at least something close to it, on Project Scorpio with smooth frame rates. Rise of the Tomb Raider is one of the few PC games at the moment that supports Microsoft's DirectX 12 API. When we ran the game's benchmark at its max preset with 4x anti-aliasing enabled, it averaged 12.2 FPS. That's super choppy. When we disabled AA and set the game to its high preset, our rig achieved a 37 average FPS, which is playable. We couldn't get the game to run consistently above 60 though. Even at its lowest setting, it garnered a 50.8 average FPS. Microsoft also asserts that Project Scorpio is a console that's capable of delivering high-fidelity VR, so we put it through the Steam VR benchmark. Here it scored a 7.4, which is actually considered high. Due to hardware and software limitations, you shouldn't expect our Project Scorpio-inspired PC to run exactly like Microsoft's upcoming console, but we think there are enough sensible similarities here that should give us a rough ballpark figure of performance. Analyzing the results of our Project Scorpio surrogate, we can see Microsoft's forthcoming system running games at 4K. though it's likely that all games won't run at 60 FPS, or we'll have to make some graphical compromises along the way. Do you think Project Scorpio will be able to play games at 4K? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. For a complete breakdown of this PC build, check out our in-depth article